guys, it's Ria here. Welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell by the title, today is going to be about my summer base. This has been a highly requested video, so I'm so happy I'm finally able to record it for you guys. I don't want to talk for too long, let's go. So the first, obviously very important thing is how I do my base. So every morning I start off with a cleanser. I have been using this low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser and I've really been liking this. So especially during the winter months I tend to have really dry skin. However, now during the summer I definitely don't need as much moisturizing. However, moisturizing is still really important when it comes to wanting a flawless base, no matter what your skin type is. Personally, I've just been using this BB cream from the German drugstore. Honestly, this has been working really well for me. And last but definitely not least is sunscreen. This one is also from Cosrx and this is the one which has been working best for me. So now that my base is ready, I'm gonna use this. The NYX or the NYX, however you want to call it, Bear With Me Prime Set and Refresh multitasking spray. Actually, a friend told me that this is really great and I've been using it now and I like it. Can't say anything bad about it. Oh my god, I still had sunscreen here. You know your base is moisturized enough when your hair starts sticking to it. So I'm gonna use this spray. Make sure you keep it at like a good distance. Don't put it too close. And I'm gonna just... And this definitely is another thing we have to like let sit in. One thing I really like doing in the meantime is I love doing my brows. Honestly, I've been using the Alicia brow pen. This one is so good, but I ran out of it and I had to get something in the drugstore. And this was the only gray brow pen I was able to find. And honestly, it's not that great if you want to like work precisely. So if you can recommend me something, please do. I don't know, I don't think that the brows are really part of the base, but since I'm already at it, I'm gonna show you. All I'm gonna do is I brush them up first. And then I will fill them in and draw the tail. Which honestly is not that easy with this thick thing. And after I'm satisfied, I'm just gonna use my brow gel from Alicia. Now that I have brows, I already feel so much more like a human being. One thing I definitely also always do is I curl my lashes before I start with the base. I genuinely don't understand how people can do lashes like after eye makeup and everything, because for me, it always takes everything off again. First thing I'm gonna use is this NYX color correcting palette. I've heard many mixed things about this, but I really like this so far. As you can tell, I've already been using this peach tone every day, and I will do so again today. Just take a little bit on a finger and I put it underneath my eyes and on some of my spots. It's like an extra layer of coverage and it's really good. I also got off the pill a little over 6 months ago, and now that all the hormones are completely leaving my body, I definitely had like a rough phase with my skin. I know it's still not bad because I was lucky enough to never be like acne prone or anything, but I definitely have been getting some pimples and spots that I kind of like needed to learn how to cover up. Also, it's definitely better to use like a concealer shade that's a little darker than your usual concealer shade to cover up pimples, because if you use something lighter, it's actually gonna highlight the pimple. So don't do that. I used the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the color... I actually have no idea. Is there a name? I really don't like foundation in the summer, so this is what we're gonna work with. And what I do is I put it underneath my eyes, but I really try to like blend it out in the mid face and not blend it out too much like outwards. I don't know if that made sense. Oh my god, I'm gonna explain to you why in a minute. So basically what I'm trying to do with this is reverse contouring. So I want to make sure my concealer stays in the mid face to brighten up this area, because we really want to highlight this area to smaller down the face. It pretty much has the same effect as contouring like this part of the face, which we are going to do now while I let this concealer sit. So I got this Holika Tune Tone Shading palette in Korea, and it came in a set, and I'm gonna use this. So I always use like a mixture of these two colors on my jawline, like so. Also, I recently had somebody ask me why to let the concealer sit, and honestly I mostly saw it on social media too, but I've definitely noticed that if you let the concealer sit before blending it out, you make sure it stays much more in its place. Therefore the opacity just is so much better, and it actually covers up what it's supposed to cover up. I also like to contour a little bit here, not too much though, even though I do have a round face. Oh my god, always the hair. Okay. Then I take my concealer brush and I blend out the nose first. Don't blend it out too much though, we still want it to have the effect it's supposed to have. I know it looks crazy right now, but then I contour my nose and I take the smaller side and the darker shade here and start off by putting a little bit underneath my nose, or like on the tip of my nose, like slightly below the tip of it. I don't know how to call this, but I put it here. And then I take a little more and I press it together, like I press the brush together like this, and I do this. Only in the front, because we're gonna use the leftover concealer here to furthermore blend out the nose contour. I also use the leftover on top of my eyes as like a primer, I guess, for my eyeshadow. And I blend it out with the brush in tapping motions. And I always try to like keep it all really centered. Once everything is kind of where it's supposed to be, I use a cushion foundation sponge and I blend out the rest with it. And I just tap it in. I still try to like follow this line. Like I still try not to go over too much, only with like the very much like leftover stuff. I still go like over my nose with the leftover stuff to blend in my nose contour. And then I think we got like the main part of the base done. Okay, I also need to mention that my base routine kind of changes based on the blush I use. Because if I use my Rare Beauty blush, I have to apply it before I apply my concealer, because I need to blend it out really well. But if I use my Dior blush, I put it on pretty much last. Today I'm gonna use my Dior blush because I really like the pink tone for summer, just a classic one. And I obviously use a little bit on a brush and put it right here. I then use a little bit of powder. This is the Too Cool for School one. Just a little bit, where I feel like I'm a little too shiny. Because makeup is so ironic, I'm gonna use my Dior Backstage Glow palette, and I'm gonna use the pinkish shade and bring back some glitter just on top of my blush. I then use a little bit of the spray I used earlier. I'm gonna let it sit a little, and then that's it with my base. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna return. Hey guys, it's Ria again. I'm so glad you watched this video until the end. I really hope there were some useful tips for you. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you soon. Bye!